welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
I'm Robert Yasumura.
Oh, shit. I was going to go, hey, he's jumping at the bit,
No,
folks.
you did it right.
No,
you did it right.
Carter's not here. You
That's
just
right.
hit.
Oh, I was
And
gonna
you've been on the show long enough, or
is
as
true.
many times that you know that's your job as the guest.
And I listen. Like
Okay.
I know the rhythm of the show. I'm
Okay.
like,
Good.
Well, we got, he said his name already, so I'll say it. Robert Yasumura is here, and fuck yeah. Thank you for
fuck
being here.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
hell
I-
fucking
I
yeah,
had a whole,
bro.
I had a whole thing. It built up, and then you just
You
merged into traffic.
ruined his riff.
No, it's quite all right. It's fine. I'm not going to think about
He was
it
gonna
every
do.
day.
He was gonna do something with your name.
No, he wouldn't. No. Or,
Roberto Especial. Huh?
I almost feel like I'm supposed to be like the guy who's always bringing the party when I show up to
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I couldn't be
better.
less that guy.
I think you're a good guest.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There's guests who go way too hard trying to be the star of the show, which sometimes works out and they're hilarious, but
Yeah,
frequently it does not work out that way, and they're just weird.
Again,
yeah.
I'm a fan of the show, and there are times when I've heard it where it's like I've never heard it go train wreck.
Yeah,
But to be
Yeah.
fair, like
we're able to
you
avoid
edit
that.
the show,
This is true. Yeah.
but like I've never. It's every once in a while where you're like, oh, that was special. Where that one guy like dominated and everything riffed and everything was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta book the good guests, like we
Absolutely.
do here at the Goods from the Woods.
That is correct. Hell yeah.
well, I wish people understood. Like we have an embarrassment of riches in Los Angeles. Like if you're in even like the sketchiest part of the stand-up scene, there's so many good people
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
in
yeah.
this town. There's
They're
so
like,
many interesting, smart people.
There's a person with a Comedy Central special here at the clubhouse. It smells like mold.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the temperature is never the right temperature for anyone to be comfortable. They're here all the time.
Yeah.
Or you get people like Goodnight, who's a genius, but he's just so weird. Like he'll just sort of like appear. You'll be like, "Where did you come from?" And he's like this weird mad genius, and you're like, "We need to get you recorded like now."
Yeah. Oh, I always said, like, especially after COVID, I was just like, all the wrong people moved home. Because there were so many people like of that description. We're just like, wait, they left, and then this fucking person is still doing this.
Yeah.
Jesus, come on. Oh,
Some people realize they have better purpose.
yes, that's true.
Better purpose in life than wasting all their time doing stand-up.
Yeah.
like me.
Well,
Fucking having kids,
that's
losers.
one of the great problems of doing stand up in LA is you find out real fast, like you're not special. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you thought you were special because you could make people laugh. Welcome.
yeah.
we all do that too.
We all do that too, and then you'll see. I mean, at an open mic here, you will see acts of genius where you're like, I can't believe I just saw that. I should go home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You saw that for free, and people who pay for comedy won't see anything that good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people who have paid to go to shows and all around town are not going to see a set as good as you just saw at a random open mic.
yeah, and that guy was just working on an idea,
Yeah.
and he specifically is like, it's something I can't put in front of regular audiences, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't care. Like I feel like I just witnessed a symphony.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time, if you're performing in front of a quote unquote regular audience, you're in front of a bunch of drunk, half stupid people
Right.
who just want to be like told the most obvious joke in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think my day job has definitely kept me tempered as far as that goes, because I'm a tour guide, so I'm driving around just the most middle of the road regular people ever.
Yeah.
And if you tell regular people, you're like, oh, what brought you to LA? I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. That's my other thing. And they'll go, oh my God, who are your favorite comedians? And I always say, do you want the real answer, or do you want the people you've heard of?
Right.
And because I after years of doing that, I know if you start mentioning, the people who even, we would consider to be mainstream.
Right.
Like if you drop like, oh yeah, Bill Burr, they'd be like, wait, who is that one? Like at that level where, and so
He's getting big now. People might know who
This
Bill
is-
Burr is now.
I mean, this is like maybe 6 months ago. That
Wow.
directly happened, where
That's
people are like,
hilarious.
and then I like, once we stopped at our first stop to like,
Arsenio Hall.
right, yeah. Well, and then if you ask people their favorite, like you're like, oh, you like stand up or your favorite stand ups, they'll all go, oh, well, we love, Eddie Murphy and
Will Ferrell.
Jim Carrey, and Robin Williams. And you're like, anybody who's been doing it in 30 years, please.
Headline stand up, like it was waiting to break apart.
Oh, yeah.
Like the moment the internet came along, you know, what happened with bands slowly
Yes.
happened with stand-up like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so all of a sudden there's like this hardcore people who are really into stand-up who know all these obscure comics
Yeah.
who have never been on television.
Oh, yeah.
Or like they're on television, but they're like on these tiny little specials that come and go.
Or they're voicing cartoons.
Right.
A lot of them, you have to be like, oh, you know, this specific cartoon and this
Right.
specific character. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's completely blown apart where it's like the fans feel ownership more over their comedians now because it's like we discovered them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have a whole different perception of who is who in LA.
Yeah,
because in LA there's industry famous,
Right.
and then there's actually famous.
I feel like the industry is going to end soon.
Everyone says that, but
It
it's been
feels
trucking along.
But it feels like the death of like 4 networks, the death of like 3 movie studios. That's
Yeah.
happened and is happening, and there's almost no central point anymore.
Oh yeah, TV
Yeah,
especially, and that's also another funny thing doing what I do is because anytime any like comedian will get jealous of somebody for getting an opportunity on TV, I have to be like, literally no one watches TV. Like all
Yeah.
the numbers are fake. No one is watching this.
Yeah.
All those companies are pivoting to online stuff too, because
Yeah.
they realize that's the case.
Well, they also realize they can fake the numbers for online stuff. It's the whole writer strike thing was funny because that was one of the compromises. Is like you have to show us the numbers, and they were like, "We'll show you guys the numbers."
Right.
We're not showing the general public the numbers because those numbers are fucking crazy. Like when this is probably 10 years ago at this point, but there was the Amazon Comedy Network CISO. And I got an inside source that told me when they closed down, their subscriber count was 3,500 people.
Oh my God.
Not 300, 3.
Like, I think that's almost the size of my high school.
Yeah. And that was like, oh, you get the entirety of SNL with this and a bunch of new original programs. It was like 3,500 people, and that's Amazon. So you
Right.
imagine what is everybody else's numbers? It's got to be, it's not what they're telling you folks. They're lying to you.
But the loss of that is there are like gatekeepers that are lost. And so now there are people who like are famous on their subscriber count
Yep.
and they should not be.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you're headlining the Improv because of your subscriber count." Why? Because you shove yams up your ass on the internet.
I'd watch that. I'd
Yeah,
pay
I mean, that guy's
25
funny,
and a
It's
2-item for that.
He's got some decent jokes, Robert.
He's got
don't,
some good stuff.
Don't totally.
Well, also the now subscription numbers and follower counts are also skewed falsely with
Yeah.
bots and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I got a request for a bringer show.
Re-educated comedy.
No, haha cafe, baby.
Oh, nice.
And
I've been telling bringer shows lately that I'm going to do it, or that I'm going to come and bring 10 friends, and I'd like the first row reserved for me and my group of friends. And they fall for it every time.
Oh,
they
hell
fall
yeah.
for it they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy. You're going to bring me $200 worth of business."
mine said I'm a talent scout for whatever the name of the show was at the haha. They were like, I'm a talent scout and we've been observing you, blah blah blah. And it was this paragraph, and then at the end it was like, here's the submission sheet, and I was like, if you're a talent scout, you've scouted my talent. I'm not
Right.
submitting to shit. So I basically was just like, listen, if you want me to come in there and show them how it's done, I'll be your bringer ringer, daddy. But
I did tell a bringer this week that I would headline their show.
yeah, that's what I told them essentially.
And that my experience as a comic would be more value than somebody buying 3 tickets to come see me.
Yeah,
And they didn't respond.
I was gonna say
That's weird.
Mine didn't respond either, and I told him mine was a bit more asshole-ish. But yeah, that's about what I said too. I was like, yeah, nothing. So anyway, shout out to haha, nice try.
No, shout out to that specific guy.
Yeah, that's
he doesn't
true.
even represent the whole club.
Yeah,
He's just some
yeah.
asshole running a show there.
Yeah. Oh, what is it like? It's like guys' night. There it is. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's
Ooh.
called guys' night. I was like, yeah,
Guys'
just
night.
what stand-up comedy needs. Guys' night.
Like, I don't mind people being like, I want to try to book a show. Like, okay, God bless you. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But when there's a pretense around it, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, how can we add a semi-scam element into
Right.
this?
Like-
We'll book somebody on their first show, and they'll be so excited. They'll invite all their friends.
And they'll do great.
Yeah.
I will perform for one guy in a broom closet. Like, I
Yeah.
do not give a fuck.
Yeah, it's same.
But there's a point where I'm like, dude, no.
That's when the one guy in the broom closet is like, you do the yams up your ass routine,
Like,
right?
all right,
Oh, are you the yam guy?
you showed.
Could you be the yam guy?
Respect the audience that showed up.
Yeah. Oh,
You got
absolutely.
to gear your set to the crowd.
Well, y'all, I know it's a little early in April, but things are starting to heat up, and I feel it in the air. I've heard the song of the summer.
Yay.
Yeah. So I was going to take a listen to this. This is a brand new artist. The name of the band is Allie and the Austin Industrials.
I just want to say, I was born and raised in Austin. I'm so sorry. None of the people that were there when I lived there for 30 years are in charge of what's going on now.
Yeah.
And none of them would have been okay with it. Austin used to be a highly, highly, highly pretentious town against any bullshit like this.
Yeah.
And we lost our charm somewhere, and started letting the dumbasses in.
You
And they're like, no,
monetize-
you're a shitty gentrifier, but come
You
on in.
monetized everything that was cool about Austin.
Uh-huh.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and it's not that
South
we
by
didn't do it;
Southwest.
someone else did it.
Yeah.
I used to know the guy who started South by Southwest and ran the Austin Chronicle, and he was a regular at the bar I worked at. He would be spinning in his fucking grave if he knew they were involving the military in South by
yeah.
Southwest now.
fuck
he
you.
would be fucking vomiting.
South by Southwest brought to you
he'd
by
be
DARPA.
Yeah, he'd be fucking sick to his goddamn stomach if he was still alive and he knew that was happening. Dude, it's fucking disgusting what happened with
I
that
love
shit.
It's just like, yeah, dude. All right. So at 12 o'clock is Kodak Black, and then at 1 o'clock we're having a fucking F-18 flyover.
At one point during a South by, I forget what kind of car it is, but some company just gave him the keys to like a new Mustang or a Charger.
Uh-huh.
He took that bitch to the bar and just let his drunk friends drive it around. Just
hell
let the other drunk regulars drive around this car he was gifted for the week. Because the sponsors, he's like, yeah, fuck them. We're
Yeah.
using them for their money to have a good time for us.
Right,
Now
right.
it's been totally taken over.
Well,
R.I.P. Brent.
yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. that generation who
Yeah.
made places like that cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Allie and the Austin Industrials. But from what I could tell, this person lives in Sarasota, Florida. So I don't really know why.
Well, now Austin's like the new shithead capital.
Well, that's probably accurate. So let's just see. I'll play a little bit of this, and if we need to stop and talk about it. But I mean, this is a this
Just
is a
let
hit,
it play
baby.
through.
This
Just
is
let
a
it play
hit.
through.
He gave us cars that drive so fast.
Oh.
Made rockets built
Oh.
to last.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, thank you, Elon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Took over Twitter's reign.
Oh yeah.
Saved free speech.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
So this is
Why is she using a fake wireless microphone? It's a music. Everyone knows music videos they aren't actually performing.
Yeah, this is her real name is Alessandra Basher, and this is her first foray into music. But
Wouldn't have guessed.
yeah, I know. But when I found this out, I was very excited because I was hoping, because her Twitter is Alessandra Comedy, and she claims to be both a stay-at-home mom and a stand-up comedian. I was like, please God, let there be clips, and there's not.
No,
So-
dude. There's so many people who call themselves comedians now that don't actually do comedy live.
Watched porn the other day that was like this girl who started out like, well, I do comedy. And I was like,
Oh my god.
oh, God.
Oh,
I
no.
used to do open mics
I was,
with that girl.
I was about to say, I think I know who that is.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus God. So wait, let's be clear. This
yeah.
is not ironic.
No, and when I
If
first
it's ironic, it's brilliant.
And that's the thing. I saw it, and then I started going down the rabbit hole with it, and I have determined this person is maybe mentally damaged, but is
no
very, very
shit.
serious.
Eliminating woke pain.
Oh, dear
Oh,
Lord.
they showed him crying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
it beams my laser dreams.
He's got a master plan for our
Yeah,
lives. That's a very, very crazy thing to say about a human being. He has a master plan for our lives. I've never met the guy.
Rivers, I got nothing.
Yeah.
This is staring into the sun bad. In every this defies parody.
When I see stuff like this, I now wonder, is this one of those things like you watch where they purposely mess up a cooking recipe so that people will watch and comment on it?
Yeah.
It makes me think they developed something so purposely cringy that people would watch it and comment on it.
Cringy
and, get them
and
attention.
inflammatory.
Yeah.
Well, so that, again, I took all of this into consideration when I was watching this. I was like, yeah, this might be one of those things where it's like, it's rage bait is what they call it. It's like, this is so fucking stupid. You have to comment on it, thus juicing the algorithm, if you will.
But you can tell though she's sincere because you can tell it's too real.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible.
A parody would have gone harder.
Yes.
Right. Like a parody would have been more clever.
Yeah, well, there's that, and also, so I believe this person is Brazilian. She mentions on a long ago Twitter post that English is her second language, and then she was, I guess, showing some outfit that she wore when she was, quote unquote, back in Brazil. So I believe she is Brazilian.
Are we allowed to call ICE on certain people only?
I mean, yeah, she is a perfect candidate for a leopard eating
For
her face.
certain people only. Most people do not need ICE. The vast majority, 99.999% of people. But this lady.
Yeah.
Did she flee when Bolsonaro got elected out?
Oh, no. She's been here for a while, and she is married to, and this is how I know that her feelings on the subject are real. She is married to a Kiwi-Canadian chief investment officer named Cern Basher, and Cern works as a financial advisor for a firm called Brilliant Advice.
Does he understand that James Bond is going to come kill him at some point?
Cern Basher does sound...
Cern is the worst name I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's something from some group or area where maybe that's a name.
It's a city in Switzerland. Like CERN is the...
CERN is, yeah.
Yeah, but...
CERN is where the Superhadron Collider
That's
is.
right, yeah, where they discovered the Higgs boson.
Now I think
in
he's
CERN.
cool.
They didn't discover it, they proved it.
Oh, they proved it, yeah,
They
sorry.
knew the Higgs boson was
Elon Musk discovered it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's call it what it is. But anyway, this guy is also one of Tesla's biggest dick riders online.
That's a hard thing to achieve.
So because, and first of all, I think we skipped over the fact that he calls his financial advisement company Brilliant Advice, which is
God.
like, I'm not trusting advice to something called that.
No.
But
if it was brilliant advice, you would have kept it to yourself, you asshole.
Yeah. But he does, CERN, the husband, does get quoted here and there in like actual like mainstream news articles as a quote unquote Tesla stock expert. So
God.
Independently verified that this family fucking loves Tesla, and this woman, whether or not she's claiming to be a comedian, is legit. Let's get to that this next little part here.
Okay, we haven't even gotten to the chorus.
I haven't even gotten to halfway through the song.
Yeah.
Let's occupy Mars. Let's occupy Mars.
Hell yeah.
Making kids to keep men.
I can almost pause it for a second. I can almost guarantee even Elon Musk would not like this.
Oh, he has markedly not retweeted this yet.
Yeah, of course, because this is so bad. You don't even want to like. This is one of those things like when we have had a or two crazy fans.
Yes, that's exactly
it's like
what I
we
said.
don't even want to acknowledge you exist or are related to us in any way.
That moment when you are after a show and the person who comes up to you is like, I loved your set, and you talk to them for a minute and you're like, oh, I'm so conflicted.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously a horrible, insane person, but I love the attention.
You just gave me a compliment that made me feel good.
Oh, I'm going to be here for 2 hours entertaining this.
You
now.
hate every race.
Right. Oh.
Well, not that, but I could put up to with a certain amount of if they're unloading some strange family drama on you, you're like, okay, you have my attention.
Do you
Jonesboro, Arkansas, shout out.
Have you noticed that the swastika? I've noticed a lot of them wrapped lately.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's been a
right.
thing here for a while.
Like I've noticed a lot of them in the last maybe 3 months, and I've been like, do the people who do this know? Like, you just lost half your business
Oh yeah,
by putting it on this
Oh, you're
car.
talking about the wrapped advertising?
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
it's like
Because there's just ugly wraps, too, that people put on their Teslas here.
No, that I haven't been as aware of. I've been more aware of like, oh, your carpet cleaning business, you're putting it on a Tesla truck. Well, go away. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no way I'm letting
Yeah.
you clean my carpets.
There's one that's parked out on Sunset Boulevard, kind of near the Comedy Store a lot, and I can't remember what the catchphrase is, but it's some sort of gym, and it's like, get with it, bitch, or, get on it, bitch, but it's got bitch at the end of it, and then,
Well, to be fair, that's part of a whole brand. That's
Yeah,
acceptable.
yeah.
Part of the alpha male workout online brand is referring to yourself as a bitch and other people as bitches who don't work out
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
and don't want to get out of bed and work out every day. That's what a bitch does.
I'm glad the self-loathing has gotten in there finally.
Yeah, I mean, well, where do you think it all came from? You don't just wake up every day at 6 a.m. to go lift weights and feel good about yourself.
Right.
But I'm glad they're acknowledging it though.
Yeah.
Like that, like really built up guys are like, I hate myself. Like, oh, thank you for finally saying it.
I was chatting with our friend Dami down in the Sunshine State. Shout out to Dami. But we covered a story a few weeks ago about a Cybertruck owner who was a hair transplant doctor.
Oh, of course.
Who wrapped his car in like gold leaf and had his his hair transplant business on the side, and somebody vandalized his car.
Shocking.
And I was like, the only thing about it is that guy was from Syria, and I was like, he's the one guy that gets a pass, because all I was imagining was like, if I went to the Middle East and made a ton of money, I could just imagine myself in the opposite situation where it's like I just crossed some cultural moray if I was like making a shitload of money in the Middle East, just being like, oh, and then
This guy's great.
You buy that.
And
You
then-
buy a beer truck
Something,
and then spray
yeah.
everyone with alcohol.
and then everyone's like, this guy sucks. I'm like, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to imagine the world in which Rivers Langley makes a lot of money in the Middle East.
I didn't want to say that, but I was also
was-
thinking the exact same thing.
What are you bringing to the table
Hey,
that they are lacking?
Maybe it could be some sort of
Some
Beverly.
Southern charm.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. It might be some sort of a Beverly Hillbilly situation where I'm out in the desert shooting at some food, and up from the ground came a bubbling crude, and the next thing you know, I do something to offend the populace.
I imagine that the thing that would need to happen for you to get big in the Middle East is for them to get the Dukes of Hazzard and PBS at the same time, and for them to be huge.
Yeah. There we go. Not get on both somehow.
And all of a sudden they're like, this guy is scratching an itch that we just realized we had.
Here's something I just thought of. Do they know about Southerners compared to other Americans? They can't possibly know that.
Yeah. Wait. Who?
People in foreign countries.
The people that I interact with most, British and Australian, definitely do.
British,
because-
Australian, Germans.
Yeah.
well, I would think they would have a little more of an idea, being that it's just white people. Hate to say that, but I think they have more of an interest in American culture.
Yes.
Some of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because like whenever
I'm wondering people in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, who knows? Well, they're certainly aware of George W. Bush and his fake ass Southern accent, so I assume that's what they know of it.
It's television penetration.
Yeah.
is always the defining thing, and like our television penetration in a lot of parts of Europe is like huge.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And so they're Europeans who understand our culture fucking fine.
Oh yeah, dude.
But-
when I have like teenagers on the tour, a lot of times they'll be coming from some other country. I'm like, all right, what do you guys have on the agenda for the trip? And the parents will be like, oh, well, we're going to Disneyland Tuesday, whatever. And then the kids are like, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, In-N-Out. And
Right.
they've never been to America. It's their first day in America. They just want to eat.
They've seen
our
so many videos about
TikToks.
those things.
Yeah, and that's the
yeah.
3 things they want to do. And Disneyland, and other than that, they don't give a shit what happens. So
Hey kids, welcome to America. We're going to give you diarrhea and constipation at the same time.
we're gonna
This is how we do things here.
stuff you up and ball you out. Welcome.
Yeah, you're gonna live like an American.
Well, let's. Speaking of which,
Oh God.
Neuralink is on
Oh, God.
the way. Boring tunnel save the day.
yeah.
Thank you, Elon Musk.
She's just listed a bunch of things he didn't actually invent or didn't accomplish also.
yeah. Oh,
Sake. Politics, he's not afraid. He won't just sit and
Oh,
You get the
God.
idea.
Thank God you stopped it.
Oh yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God.
No, I
I
just
bet that doesn't even have that many views online. I bet the majority of views come from people reposting clips of it, being like, "This
Yeah.
is the stupidest thing."
that's
I've
where
ever
I
seen
saw
in
it.
my
I saw it
life."
on Instagram. I was just like, okay, well, lash
you
me
do
to the
the homework?
mast. I need to see the whole thing. But yeah, that's
That was what the worst thing I've seen in a long time.
Alessandra
Good.
Basher, the song of the summer. Yeah, I couldn't figure out why it's the Austin Industrialists, because from what I could tell, they're from Florida. They live in Florida.
It's because Austin's just the new shithead branding.
It's a
thing.
buzzword, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, the song is called "We Love You, Elon Musk," and it's got Austin in the title.
Think
so.
about that. For her, Sarasota is too real.
Yeah,
Think
yeah.
about that. The circus capital of the world.
Yes.
Too real
Oh,
for
yeah.
this woman. She
Oh,
had to
yeah.
go to the magical land of Austin.
Yeah,
God damn it, that sucked.
I like the Neuralink thing because it runs right up against. Speaking of Austin, there's a thing that Alex Jones has talked about forever, which is transhumanism, folks. They're trying to turn us into robots. And now he has to somehow rectify his absolute on his knees dick sucking of Elon Musk and the fact that he wants to put chips in everyone's brain with that previous position, which
Well, the fact that he fucking turned into a friend of the president,
yes,
being
yeah,
that he was the guy who questioned everything,
Right. Oh, yeah.
he's the biggest sellout in the history of conspiracy theories,
Oh, yeah.
possibly.
I mean, it's got to be, everything is hard for a shit kicker right now because everything's so conflicting where it's like, I don't believe in global warming, but now you got me buying an electric truck.
Oh, not just that. You got us willing to go to war with Denmark over Greenland. And
Right.
it's like, why are you doing that? And if you
Right.
just sat down those people like, why is it that we need Greenland? They're going to
Yeah.
have to say, because it's about to be a bunch of shipping lanes because we're not going to have ice caps anymore.
Right.
Which is the only reason. But
They don't know that.
yeah, I mean,
Or
yeah.
they've got people who are afraid of inoculations, of vaccines,
Yes.
but they're like, but we're willing to put a chip in our brain.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of my favorite fights I got in. I just put up a joke. I was like, "There's something hilarious about people thinking that the COVID vaccine has microchips that allow the government to track you," and they say this typing it on an iPhone.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
said that, and then someone who will remain nameless got into it. Was just like, "Fucking, they are lying, man." And I'm like, "What do you got in your hand? That's literally a tracking
Yeah.
device."
Yeah.
like,
If-
yeah.
That you turned on.
You-
You turned on GPS.
Yeah.
It doesn't come on automatically.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's literally a microchip that tracks your movements. And you have it with you at all times.
And
Yeah.
if you don't have your tracking microchip, you're like, oh my God, my tracking microchip's gone.
Right.
yeah. It's like you don't notice that if you mention the Beatles and then you put on Spotify, it's somehow playing them. You know, like you're just listening to you all the time.
Oh,
You didn't have to inject anything to.
can I
get
say
it.
I haven't listened to the news once since the election.
Good
Good
job.
for you.
Good
My
job.
God.
I've not listened to the news. I've barely gone on Facebook like 2 or 3 times to check messages, and that is it.
Some of the most annoying people lately are people that you would agree with completely big picture,
Yeah.
but they can't stop reading the news.
Oh, yeah.
So they just are brainwashed into depression constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And a depression that they feel the need to talk about.
To be fair, I didn't need to be brainwashed into depression. I came by it organically. I don't need to just and actually, this is a good example. So I've got like my polar opposite is the person who's like completely terminally online.
Yeah.
Like always wants to talk to me about it because he knows I share politics with him. And I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah,
done. I'm
I do that
fucking
too.
done.
Well, I am curious. What has bled through? Like, what have you heard about?
Every once in a while, something, because the one thing I'll watch is YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. And every once in a while, you'll see like a thing that says like Trump did X, like
Yeah.
he wants to buy Greenland or some horse shit like that.
Yeah.
And I will go, I'm gonna put that someplace in my head, and hopefully it will die there. And then I'm gonna move back to like looking at watches and looking at medieval history because
Hey.
I can't fucking deal with it.
Dude, medieval history. I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah.
30 years war.
That's the thing.
Fuck
If
yeah.
you go to see a therapist, one of the and you are like anxious and depressed about stuff,
Yeah.
they try to calm you by saying, well, don't worry about stuff you can't control.
Yeah.
There's so many things in your life that are out of your control.
Yeah.
You shouldn't stress about it because you literally can't control that. Politics is that now.
It's that.
It's
yeah.
that. And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't think it's that, then you're going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin your life thinking that your vote is going to change something.
Right, right.
It's so far beyond. It's
And
do
I'm
yourself
old-
a favor. Just do
I'm
yourself
older
a
than you
favor.
guys. Like, it's, you know who's going to fix this? 25-year-olds, and it's going to take them 30 years to do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my agency is over.
Yeah.
My sense of agency is long over.
Yeah.
So,
we're reading about Galahad.
Yeah, I'm like, look,
Was Arthur real?
Yeah.
Tell me, YouTube, was King Arthur real?
and
In my mind, he is.
he wasn't.
No.
Fuck you. Get the fuck out of
He
here.
wasn't.
Podcast is over.
Sorry.
He's a conspiracy theorist.
I
folks.
watched the cartoon.
Oh, did
I
you?
saw him.
Did you?
Yeah.
There was Knights of the Round Table.
Did you see him attempt to fight back? It's supposedly he was pre-Saxon.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's like one of the people who fought the Saxons.
Yeah.
But then even then they're like, it's probably horseshit. too.
Yeah, that's the funny one that it always feeds me if I'm watching medieval shit. It's always like, was Arthur real? I'm like, let's talk about the Plantagenets, please.
Let's just
let's
talk-
fucking talk some real shit.
Let's just talk about Edward III,
Quit
who
feeding-
thought Arthur was real, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I think they all did back in those days.
But it's like Edward III like actually got a round table going. Like he was like, I am into this.
we'll get there in America soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I mean, yeah, everything's based, like, everything about this administration is based on, like, fairy tale beliefs about how the world works.
and movies and
Yeah.
fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
Pop culture. We're gonna do our own Snow White.
It's all been heading here. I'm telling you, Reagan to now,
Oh, yeah.
there's a direct line.
Oh, yeah.
There's a direct
Yeah.
piece of storytelling that gets you to here.
Yeah, we covered that Dennis Quaid Reagan movie on the Patreon.
How was it?
It's so bad, and it also just made me sad because I was like, there is a good movie to be had here. Obviously, it's a complete hagiography, but also they like tried to do his entire life as
Right.
a frame narrative told through John Voight, who had been badly Irishman reverse aged into being a KGB agent.
Oh, God.
And so he's like training like the new Vladimir Putin, and he's like, let me tell you a story of Reagan. And he like goes back. But it's funny because he's supposed to have been like tracking this guy his whole life. And he's like, Reagan was a lifeguard. And I was like, were you following him when he was a fucking teenager?
Oh, my
It's like, I don't even think the Soviet Union existed when Reagan was a lifeguard.
Jesus God almighty.
And it keeps
So wait, was that film made entirely by, like, Christian Right? Sort of
yeah oh
nationalist
definitely
people?
yeah
Okay.
and they filmed it in I think Oklahoma specifically because they didn't have any COVID restrictions and everyone in the movie got COVID.
Good.
Yeah, so anyway, it's not good, but check that out on the Patreon, folks. Me and Nick Thomas talked about it for about longer than the film because it was fucking insane. But there is a scene where it's like Ronald Reagan just somehow accidentally kills a child's goldfish and it like really fucks with him, and I was like, this is the whole movie, just do this. like
What a weirdo Reagan was.
yeah. Just have the goldfish incident before a Reykjavik conference, or he kills the Icelandic diplomat's kid's goldfish.
That'd be a great movie. Is just Reagan : weird lifeguard.
yeah.
Like that's the whole movie.
Oh yeah. Oh, the lifeguard narrative was funny because John Voight just keeps being like, he could read the currents underneath the water, not just the top of the water. Like
What?
in
trying to make-
Illinois, that
yeah,
really?
he's like trying to make some symbolism of like, oh, like
You could
whatever.
read the undercurrents.
Yeah, he could see what was going on beneath the surface. He's and I'm just like, again, are you following this teenager
Yeah.
at this point? Even though the KGB, if it exists, it barely exists.
And by the way, Ronald Reagan never had a preternatural skill in his life. He
No.
never had a haunting ability. He was just, that's why
Yeah.
America loved him.
Oh yeah, well,
was because there was nothing special about him.
yeah.
He just could kind of sell himself.
Well, and they had the other scene where I was like, this is a whole fucking movie, is the Vegas years where he's hosting the Sunday night ABC movies, and he's then going to Vegas every weekend and doing like a
Kind of-
show, like a
right.
variety show. And in the movie, it's like him out back, like smoking with the fucking, the showgirls and stuff like that. I was like, I didn't know about this. Fucking, this is your goddamn movie. Don't tell me this whole stupid story. Like, it's, I'm
But they got to make him seem cool.
I know, it's terrible.
There's no way to make Reagan, there's no way to make Reagan seem cool.
No, there's not.
And then the last scene is his Secret Service detachment. It's the day he has to tell him he can't ride horses anymore because he's too demented.
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
that's a movie. So
That is a good movie.
yeah, there's like several good ideas here, but this thing is shit because you tried to do too much. And then the one scene where there's any sort of criticism of him is during the second term when AIDS is happening, and he's like, and John Voight's is like, he did face some opposition, and there is a 5-second shot of a bunch of people holding up the AIDS quilt,
right?
And like one gay guy being like, AIDS is real, and then they just cut away from it, and never mention it again. And that's the one. It's like some people didn't like this guy.
Oh God, no! I hate him to this day.
I know.
We live with the ramifications of deregulation to this day in ways that people don't even understand.
Oh yeah.
There are like ways in which this country is a fucking mess to this day because of deregulation.
Yeah. So don't watch that movie. It'll give you it'll give you a hemorrhage, I think.
That video you just showed damn near killed me.
God, it's but that Neuralink thing is
It's good you didn't keep watching politics because you're furious about Reagan still.
if I'm angry about Reagan, imagine.
Oh man. Well, shout out to Alessandra Basher. Go check that out, folks. Song of the summer.
He's a good old president. His policies I curse, but at least he's not Nixon. He's even worse. Yes, he's wrong. Ronald Reagan. Big Ron.
Well, maybe this will make us feel better, boys. It's time for our heavyweight championship throwdown with low energy, folks. Oh, that's right. It is the Ungodly Concoction. And today, this is a brand that I became familiar with working at the grilled cheese sandwich store in Hollywood, California back in 2013. And now they've got an energy drink. Robert, tell the folks what we got for them.
Zevia.
Made with stevia.
Zero sugar energy drink. Cola naturally flavored. Cola with a K.
That's right.
And then I don't know what are the stats I'm supposed to be looking for.
Oh, it's got 120 milligrams of caffeine. That's the big one. So, medium potency.
That's the one we care the most about. This is cola flavored, spelled with a K.
That's right.
I don't love that. I don't love that at all.
But you've had some weird tropical fruits that have turned out to be horrifying.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Cola might be the safer of the...
You're right.
Well,
this actually, for what's in... It doesn't look as heinous as what's in a lot of these.
Yeah.
And it's a non-GMO verified product, which, thank God. When you're drinking poison, I bet there better not be GMOs in there.
Better not be genetically modified.
Can I just say, as a fan of the show, how blown away I am by the fact that there's always a new energy drink.
This is the only part of the show Rivers likes.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the...
Hell yeah.
Thankfully,
That's not the color of cola.
No.
I'm going to be the one to first say it.
Well, that's their whole thing. They're going in with the no artificial dyes. They're Maha, Make America Healthy Again. This.
It smells like cheap natural soda.
It's
got a Lasens or whatever it used to be.
Lasens.
It's got a perfumey.
I kind of like it. It's all right.
It's not good.
It's
There's nothing like vile about it.
Taste the chemicals.
Yeah.
Like,
you taste the chemicals, but I do like that they at least spelled the cola with a K because it's kind of got like a little like extra spiciness to it.
Is that why they spell it with a K?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it says it has all the oomph of our cola soda.
I gotta say, there's a brutal honesty to it. Like that, it's not trying to cover up what it is.
No,
right.
Yeah. And most of these do. So I've never heard of this company before. Can you tell me a little bit about them, Rivers?
So we used to sell these at not the energy version, but the soda version at the grilled cheese sandwich store, and I don't think anybody ever bought them.
This with a grilled cheese sandwich would be awful.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This with food of any kind would be terrible. Like the only way to consume this is as medicine.
Chugged.
Definitely.
Shotgunned, preferably.
Yeah. all I could find about them is that their former CEO, now board member, his name was Patty Spence, which I just thought was a fun name. The woman that replaced him had previously worked at Red Bull, and she got fired for saying that Red Bull didn't care enough about Black Lives Matter. So I was like, oh, you got kind of a cool CEO. That's all right.
That's interesting.
That's a change. Yeah.
It's interesting that politics plays into anything in the energy drink industry.
All of them. Oh, yeah. There's always something to be found, if you dig deep enough. But let's see. Let me finish.
Well, it's just like we were just talking about. Some people can't avoid politics and society talk. And some of those people who can't avoid that also own energy drink companies.
Yeah.
Or work for them. And that's why a lot of them are like super shithead right wing people.
But it's usually on the right wing. It's usually the free market like lunatics, right?
Yeah. And I couldn't find much with this one. But also this company, I guess, has been around since 2008. They started in Seattle. They're now based out of LA, and they at one point had like a pretty significant share. Like I think they were like the 15th best-selling like non-sugar soda or something like that, like nationwide. So
feather cap meat,
because I figured they had done pretty well considering I was familiar with it from 10 years ago, and the fact that it's still around is indicative of that. But the main thing I found out is they just a couple days ago rolled out their new ad campaign.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we got
They're in the desert, the heartland.
Oh, who do we got? Actually, I'd be curious to know if you know who this is, Robert.
Oh, no. I have no idea.
That's Jelly Roll, Robert.
No idea.
Country music sensation.
You should be so happy. You don't know how happy you should be.
Listen to this kid.
In a Zevia commercial, this is huge. By choosing him as the spokesperson for their zero sugar soda with zero artificial ingredients, Zevia is dismantling the notion that quote-unquote real men cannot be conscious of what goes into their bodies. Mr. Roll is now, quite literally, the poster child for sweet authenticity.
The face Jelly Roll makes when he sips the soda is like he just had the first orgasm of his life.
It means that he's not drinking this for real.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely fucking not.
We're going to have to do an addendum to this show because I'm not going to be able to process what I just saw.
Okay, so let me break down Jelly Roll.
Hold on, we should
I'm going to have to call in
I was gonna say,
like in a week and say what I think because I'm not sure.
We should get like the last 10 seconds.
What?
Zero sugar, no artificial nothing.
That's Jelly Roll.
That
folks.
is, I mean, to their credit, that is what they just said is a huge violation of all advertising practice. To have a profoundly and dangerously overweight person selling a food product is against all the rules. You do not do that. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
You do not do that. That's a big no.
Okay.
And for them to do that is like, okay, you've broken a rule. I'm interested.
Well, now I think they're basically like, hey, are you fat and love soda? This is the good one. This is the one that's good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Sam, fill Robert in on Jelly Roll for
Okay, so Jelly Roll, back in his initial attempt at getting into the music industry, was a white man with cornrows.
Okay.
He talked like he was a black guy.
Okay.
He talked about how he would serve up people with crack on the street and move all this dope and do all this, gangster rap type stuff.
So that was Jelly Roll 1.0.
Yes.
Yeah, because it turns out Jelly Roll 1.0 is not marketable or likable.
Oh.
And people maybe liked his music a little bit, but no one wanted to hear it.
Okay.
So he enters an era where rap music and country music is becoming very popular from Lil Nas X and other artists. So he turned to a country artist. And he doesn't even really rap anymore. He sings, but he also can't sing well.
Yeah. Sure.
But he does songs about how he, like, pill addiction is hard. So it really resonates with, like, the Rust Belt and Appalachian mountain folk.
I heard somebody refer to him as Adele for overweight Southerners.
It's completely true.
Overweight white Southerners.
If you were a fucking drug addict in the South or in any rural area, you listen to his songs and you're like, damn, this is just like my fucking life, dude.
Which is why he is massively fucking popular.
Yeah, he's
now,
super
there
popular.
Are so many recovering.
But he's a whore.
The fact that
he basically like went, oh, this is what's popular. I will do this.
Yeah, pretty
I don't mean it.
Oh, he's a sellout. He's a 100% sellout.
Well, No, I mean, if he was a sellout, he had integrity at one point and went to like sell it out.
I think he really was at some point the white dude with cornrows who took himself very seriously as the white dude with cornrows.
Okay.
And then he saw what was successful and he's like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be the white guy with cornrows anymore.
Okay.
Maybe I should get more stupid tattoos than I've ever had before, which you did get.
I've never had more respect for Insane Clown Posse than I do right now.
The funny stuff. Okay, that's
because they're real.
No, this is an interesting addition to that. Jelly Roll used to regularly perform at the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Okay.
Jelly Roll, I think, maybe has worked with ICP or at least been in the studio at the same time.
In the same circles.
And so when he was still rapper Jelly Roll, he was actually associates with the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
But I think after his turning point into a country artist, he is, he's bigger than them. He doesn't need them. He's never going to play the Gathering again unless his career really falls off a fucking cliff.
To be fair, he might have seen the Gathering and been like, I need to transcend this. I need to get above this.
I mean, I'm sure lots of people think that, but they're not. If you're performing at the Gathering, you're performing at the fucking Gathering. That being said, I'd love to perform at the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Oh, yeah.
I by the way, I actually do have a lot of respect for that. It's not for me, but having listened to how much those people have been shit on, I'm like, okay, we need to stop shitting on the Juggalos, man. Because to their credit, like, they're for real.
Absolutely. Shout out to Nick in Boston listening.
One of the realest fan groups in modern music.
And also the most suffering. No fan group I can think of has been putting it on an FBI watch list.
Yes, that's right.
Except for the Juggalos.
Not the Swifties. They get criticized for paying too much for concert tickets. ICP fans get criticized for their entire lives for listening to ICP.
People get like their children taking away from them because they're listening to ICP. So I got to give them credit.
What if you're a juggalo who's also pro-Palestinian? Do you go straight to El Salvador or?
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Terrible things.
What if to escape you went to Greenland?
They got taken off the gang list.
Did they finally?
Yeah,
oh, good.
They did. They are off the gang list now. I think they made enough of a stink about it. / it wasn't real in the first place.
And it was a massive civil rights violation.
Yeah. There's somebody who wrote a book about it.
Did they?
I watched an interview with them.
Was that Nathan Rabin, the "You Don't Know Me, But You Don't Like Me"? That one?
No, this was one about how police forces in rural areas create fake problems to justify asking for money.
Yeah,
and
getting
justify
tanks and shit.
and justify spending money. So if there's groups of guys with Hatchet Man tattoos and they catch them doing illegal stuff, then they're like, these guys must be in a gang.
Yeah,
They all say they're juggalos.
We need an anti-aircraft gun.
And that's literally what would happen because they can't be like, there's Bloods and Crips out here in the middle of nowhere. They have to be like, no, it's a new type of gang.
Of course, because there's federal like gang money to be had. That's
exactly. So
ridiculous.
it became, I think, because of that, was part of it.
Is that how Doraville, Georgia ended up with a goddamn tank?
Probably.
I mean, all of the law enforcement in this entire country is like, it's ridiculous what they've been allowed to buy.
Oh, yeah.
They should not own a Glock.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
You should own a 38 your grandfather gave you.
I was home last spring and they have like a spring festival free thing for the like around Easter time, and I went with a friend of mine and we walk in the park and the first thing you see is a vehicle that I could really only describe as like a Jurassic Park vehicle. Like it looks like it's for wrangling a Tyrannosaurus, and it has Auburn Police Department on the side. You're like, nothing happens in this town.
Right.
Nothing ever fucking happens here.
But they're ready.
But they're
fucking ready, dude.
If a rhinoceros is rampaging through Auburn, Alabama, the cops are ready with the biggest vehicle, like a monster truck, essentially.
And by the way, I got to say, like, Democrats have not helped in that process.
Of course not. No.
But there's a weird subtle reason there, which is that when the Berlin Wall fell, and Clinton was in office, he's like, we actually need our industrial military complex.
Yeah.
Because if they completely go away, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah, because that's all we do.
So, well, no, because like, what if we end up like with a 2-theater war?
Right.
We have to be able to ramp up like that. So he was like, he basically gathered all of those companies into a room. He said, some of you are going to die, so I need some of you to buy the other ones, and we're going to find ways to keep you afloat. And like, I think this was one of the ways was like, we're like, well, we're going to find civilian applications for your shit. And so that's why, like, they have, like, these MRAPs,
Yeah.
like, in rural Kentucky for no fucking reason, where the worst thing that they have to worry about is the local drunk.
Right. Yeah. Otis in the jail.
Yeah.
Well, they have to worry about Jelly Roll and his friend selling pills.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm giving this like 2.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1 because there's nothing good about it. There's nothing. It's one of those things where there's nothing particularly bad. There's kind of a weird flavor, but there is nothing about this where I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4.
Wow.
I'm giving it
Okay.
a 4, not because I want this ever again.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't.
Okay, interesting.
But again, it's honesty.
The honesty.
Like, you taste it and you're like, I know I am drinking chemicals.
Yeah.
This is not refreshing. This is going to do something for my body that I need done right now. And I appreciate that about it.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? What are we calling it?
I said 1.
Oh, you said 1.
Yeah, it's not good
Well,
to me. Maybe a 1.5 if I'm feeling generous.
Well, even though the
but-
website says it's cloaked in notes of warm spices and peppery finish.
Oh no, I get the spices. Don't get me wrong. I taste the spices.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
I got the floral notes. I got it.
Well,
Okay, Rivers.
It says with 120 milligrams of caffeine, you'll be moving mountains. So get ready. This is about to be a hot pod. We're moving mountains.
I bet if you went up to Jelly Roll in person, and you're like, yo, man, you like Zevia? He'd just be like, what are you
What?
talking about? I've never heard of that word in my life.
Yeah, I guess they got the advertising contract with the animated film Ferdinand. That was the last big thing they did.
What?
How do you put product placement in Ferdinand?
Oh, it was on the cans. Like they,
They just have the bowl on it.
Yeah, the bowls were on the cans, and I guess I don't know what the product placement was in the movie, but
Do you know I've driven by the Red Bull headquarters? Did I mention that the last
it's
time?
in
I was
Santa
here?
Monica.
No, I drove by the one in Austria.
Oh, in Austria. No kidding.
Yeah,
Really?
it was pretty cool.
The one we used to record Hush Money sketches at the one in Santa Monica. We had a friend who worked there, and they would let us in after the building was closed.
Oh,
and
really?
There were fucking Red Bull coolers everywhere, and boy, we'd get fucking jacked up.
The Red Bull headquarters in Austria has stone bulls leaping out of water in the front.
Oh, God.
Oh, damn.
Like we're driving by in a tour bus, and they're like, "That's the Red Bull headquarters." I look out the window. I'm like, "Oh my God, it sure is!"
Wow.
They aren't kidding.
Damn.
Well, it's
yeah.
In
like
America, they probably just have a sign.
the weird thing is like it's one of the few claims to fame right now for Salzburg in the modern era.
Oh, it's in Salzburg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is like one of the most famous, important cities in the Holy Roman Empire. What are you
Right.
talking about? Like,
Right, yeah.
now we make energy.
Yeah.
drinks.
Who are the Habsburgs?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I went down that rabbit hole, and holy shit.
Oh, about
Yeah.
the ever elongating
Yeah,
genetic
about
deformities.
Charles II, and then
Simple Charles.
I can't remember who it was. He wasn't Bavarian, but it's one of the duchies in the HRE.
Uh-huh.
The one guy where it's like, oh, his head is elongated.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
He had hydrocephaly, and like the poor guy, they were like, "We're gonna make you the king of this area." It's like, you should not. He's a child.
He'll never grow up.
Oh, it was so sad.
Yeah, my favorite is that that castle. It's what they based like the Cinderella's castle. on.
Neuschwanstein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neuschwanstein. The guy who was building that bankrupted Bavaria in the process,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Yeah, he died young, and we're not 100% sure, but he was probably killed." I'm like, and then you're looking at this fucking castle that's useless. And you're like, "Yeah, I bet he was."
Well, they claim actually to this day they're like he committed suicide.
Yeah.
And then you dig a little bit deeper, and you're like, they killed him.
Yeah,
they killed
I think
him.
He, quote unquote drowned. It's like, yeah, he committed
Right.
suicide by smashing his own face into mud for
Right.
5 minutes.
Right.
It's like,
But as people will point out over and over again, Neuschwanstein has made more money
of course, for Bavaria.
for Bavaria
Yeah.
than almost anything else. Like that was one of the best investments that area ever made.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, Zevia, shout out Jelly Roll, man.
Shout out to Jelly Roll. I know you're a frequent viewer of this podcast. He actually, you know who hates him?
Oh,
Ryan Upchurch.
Ryan
Our
Upchurch.
other friend of the podcast.
Yeah,
He's a country rapper who
Yes.
says Jelly Roll's a fake country rapper. He acknowledges he's a sellout. He changed his whole gimmick and music style.
Can I just say, like,
Yellow Wolf
you're doing
remains
country.
unaffiliated.
It's only 3 chords. Just do the country. It's not that fucking hard. Like, you don't have to take the music out of it. It's barely there to start with. Just play the 3 chords, man.
Well, this is like the new age Eminem. A lot of people have had the issue with rap. The entire time of rap is they don't feel comfortable listening to it because they're not black. They feel like it's a thing that's not for them, or that they don't feel right enjoying it. But when these shitty guys add a little acoustic guitar riff to their rap song, they're like, oh man, I love this stuff.
Oh, it speaks to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Just drag a bow across the fiddle at the beginning. And then a trap beat, and they're like, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And we have Lil Nas X to thank for that. We liked you for a minute. Now I hate you.
Hey man, Cowboy Troy, he did it.
No,
earlier.
the thing is he has some good songs, but it's like one of those things where he was so good he ruined it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
It's like comedians have like Mitch Hedberg was so good at being that type of one-liner comic. He's now ruined that style by being so good at it.
Yeah.
Now everyone's just trying to clutch at his
I have opinions about that.
Yeah.
I have very strong, because the reason why Rivers knows me so well is because I ran an open mic for a long time. And it was sort of like a central meeting point. And
Westwood Brew Co.
we would watch people come and go through there. And that was like in the post-Mitch Hedberg period. And so a lot of people were walking through going, I can do that. I can just do one-liners. And they would find out very quickly, no, you cannot.
Yeah.
He's doing more than one line.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like people didn't realize, they would walk through and they wouldn't understand, like, he's got a very strong POV. That's what's making this work. Is like, it's him making it work. It's not the joke.
He's building the world.
Yeah.
Too.
Like, and so I
It's
had
a
very
performance.
Oh yeah, he'll do like a 2-line thing, and you can imagine a whole situation.
Yeah.
like you can imagine him in his apartment getting his neighbors banging on the wall.
Yeah.
telling him to turn down his fucking music.
Right.
You know that happened. That definitely happened.
And also-
heroin addicts aren't like nice to their neighbors.
The other thing that was misunderstood about Mitch Hedberg was everybody saw his specials. They didn't realize, like, there were a lot of nights when Mitch Hedberg failed horribly.
I saw him bomb.
Yeah.
I saw him bomb.
Did you?
Yeah.
He did that college, that was last tour, or was a campus college tour. I saw the one in Auburn, and then Joe Rayans was telling me he was in Tuscaloosa as well. And he's like, I don't even remember the punchline or if there was one, but the setup was just, you never see a fat robot.
Right.
Like, I don't even care what the punchline is.
Yeah,
That's fucking
that's
hilarious.
great.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
But yeah, now when you see people trying to do that style of comedy, you're like, why are you even, you've ruined it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like Lil Nas X ruined country rap.
Well,
he was too good at it right out of the gate. He exposed every avenue it can go in one song.
That's a minute and 38 seconds
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
I don't belong in this world. Like,
None
for
of us
someone to
do.
say in front of me, that guy ruined country rap, like that sentence being said in the world makes me realize I don't belong in the world.
Well, let me pull you back in, because he had this massive song that was, one of the biggest songs of 2019, no question. And then he followed it up with a music video where he's literally giving the devil a lap dance. And so, that guy's cool in my book, no matter what. He's the most, fuck your favorite punk band. That guy's the most punk. He had every goddamn person in the world singing that song. He's like, here's my follow-up, the gayest, most satanic thing on earth. Like, fuck yeah.
Okay, good.
Little Nas X is punk as fuck.
It's your struggle, cuz. Fuck who you thought I was. I really bought them choppers. I really sold them drugs. I never sold them guns. I still got them heaters. I just renamed my K Cuba. Do you want a meter? See that mask on my face? It embraces the basics of everyday nation situation I'm facing just to make it. Hesitation from litigation, eradication from penetration. You know my occupation.
We have a segment on the show where we talk about our guests' hometown. Oh. Hell yeah. And today we're going to, Sam, are you ready to say it with me? Strong Island, baby. There was a bit of confusion last week because we talked about the founder of the Pirates Booty Cheese Snacks company staging a coup in Seacliff, New York.
Oh, really?
And trying to seize the town hall and proclaim himself Captain Bootyhead, the mayor of Seacliff.
Is it Seacliff or Seaford?
No, Seacliff.
Okay.
Yeah, and that obviously didn't work, but I kept making reference to Strong Island. Have you ever heard anyone say that?
No.
No. What the fuck?
Not
All right.
once.
I'm texting Kurt Steinmuller right now, who's from Long Island, and asking him if he's ever heard
But
that.
I mean, I'm past the point. Like,
Okay, all right.
That was the thing is when you said like, oh, we might go into Long Island to talk, I was like, all right, I haven't been there in over 30 years.
Good.
Like, I had to go back and like remember some shit,
Hell
and I was
yes.
like, what a
love it.
weird town I grew up in.
Oh yeah. Well, stuff I was looking up. So Setauket
Setauket.
or Setauket. Okay, I was. I'm glad you corrected. So
Setauket.
Setauket. Yeah,
That's how you say it in Alabama.
That's right. Yeah, you get on down to Setauket. All right. You
And I
understand?
have no idea how the Iroquois actually said it. But
Oh, sure. Well,
it's lost to time because we destroyed the Iroquois.
so Setauket is the, I guess, most famous thing home to George Washington's spy network.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much
The
so.
Culper Ring, which was a name suggested by Washington and taken from Culpeper County, Virginia.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me interrupt you.
Oh, what do we got?
I'm
Kurt
impressed you got
Steinmuller
that one.
text. I said, have you ever heard of people calling it Strong Island? Once in a while, but only losers refer
Hell
to it
yeah.
like that.
Boom.
I once bought a T-shirt that said Strong Island.
All right, Kurt.
Kurt's
man.
the best.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell him he's getting a high five on Thursday at the Good Night Bar. That's,
When I was growing up, Long Island, one of the things it was known for was its gay population out on Fire Island.
Oh,
so it
sure.
was not being called Strong Island when I was growing up there.
but yeah, so there's a spy ring, and I was like, what even was spying in like the late 18th century? And apparently, it's just guys just writing stuff down.
Oh, it was very, yeah.
It's like, oh, there's 6 boats out there, and then taking it to Washington and telling him. Like,
There's actually, and it really is like right in Setauket, like they would come across from Connecticut right to Setauket. That was where the spy ring was.
and they made a TV show in 2014 about it
They
called
did.
Turn Washington Spies.
They did.
But just wanted to share some recent local news. We got 53-year-old James Robotsek, a former NYPD officer and the leader of the pro-Trump conservative group Setauket Patriots, has been arrested and charged with domestic violence. Suffolk police said Robotsek had previously been charged with holding a parade without a permit in 2020,
Oh, no.
which I went in reading about. I was
COVID
like, that's
permit.
well, no, I was like, that's one way of putting it. I would call it a minor Trump riot that he just sort of had in the streets.
What do they do?
They just had a bunch of people blocking traffic and shit, and people couldn't get through the town.
I kind of want to know where that was. I'll bet you it was on 25A. Everything's on 25A.
That guy also has been charged in 2007 with petty larceny, and he was fired from the NYPD in 2000 after being convicted of official misconduct after he offered to help a prostitution suspect avoid prosecution in exchange for a date. So,
Do you know how hard you have to work to get fired from the NYPD?
especially for like fucking
For
with
that-
a sex worker. Yeah.
That's not like that's a slap on the wrist, and
Yeah.
like your union rep goes, don't do that again.
It's like, also just give her some money, you
Right.
asshole. It's like, she'll date you. You just have to pay her.
By the way, Suffolk County Police used to be the biggest pieces of shit.
Yeah.
They were as bad, if not worse, than the NYPD.
Wow.
Because the NYPD had more scrutiny on them at that time.
Sure. Yeah. This is like suburbs, basically.
And then I found out, like, the Suffolk County Police, like, they were like fucking cowboys of the worst order.
Damn. Well, when I Googled Setauket, I was so happy that the first thing that came up when you click a little news tab was an article from the Daily Beast. And if your small town has a Daily Beast article, something's going to be fantastic. This is Noah Kirsch writing for the Daily Beast. This is from October 2023. On July 1st, in the sleepy hamlet of East Setauket, Long Island, Christian Anatoly and his wife, Christine Licata, were feeling the holiday spirit there. A couple days early, out from 4th of July, they set off some fireworks, showering the area with blackened debris, including the yard of their next-door neighbor, David Halstead, who promptly called the cops.
Okay.
So, got these people, they're setting off a bunch of fireworks, and they left their shit just all over, which
Well, if
happens
you're-
here every single time there's a holiday.
Well, if you're in a clean area,
Yeah.
you do notice that when fireworks explode, black little pieces of stuff fly off because that stuff has to go somewhere.
Yes.
It can't be created or destroyed completely.
By the way, let me say two things to that. First of all, clearly your neighborhood is gentrifying because nothing was on fire when I showed up.
Yeah, I know, right?
There
It's
were
been
no
nicer.
cars on fire.
Oh, there's a
been
bagel
nicer.
place with a line, and they've got some murals.
Oh,
Rent's
man.
going up, Robert.
Just wait. The other thing I will say, one of the things that Long Island is famous for is the Grucci fireworks explosion.
Oh, what's that?
The Grucci fireworks is one of the premier fireworks companies in the world. They did like in '86 when they redid the Statue of Liberty. They did all the fireworks for that.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Like they're hardcore. Their factory blew up
Why?
on Long Island. And I don't know any of the details of that, but I just remember it was like, that was a big deal.
That's amazing.
That's a big deal.
So the next day, Halstead says that Antonelli and Licata retaliated by setting off more fireworks. So they called the cops on them, and they started setting up fireworks, more of them, and then for good measure, they did it again and again and again for 2 months. Quote, it was like 3 or 4 times a day. The explosions never stopped, he claimed. And then this is a quote from another resident of the neighborhood. It's not a normal amount of fireworks. It's not your, the pretty ones, he said, speaking on a condition of anonymity. So I was just imagining setting off those doo-doo snakes,
Well, we had neighbors who haven't done it in a while, I feel like, but they wouldn't even get the ones that launch in the air.
No.
They would just get the ones that would explode, and then they would put them like under a
Firecrackers.
car. No, like explode.
Like the 80s, yeah.
And they would put them under like cardboard boxes, and then just watch the cardboard blow apart and be like, yeah! And I
off car alarms and
I gotta agree, it wasn't pretty. It was loud, and it would shake the building, but it
I
was
guarantee that's what
pretty,
this
quote,
degraded
unquote.
down to pretty fast. It wasn't. This was not Roman candles. This was not like nothing that makes like any color.
No.
This was M80s. If they're lucky, under a cardboard box. More likely, it's under like hubcaps and shit like that.
I remember looking out my window the day after, and there's just debris of like boxes, like cardboard and wood. They had done some wood boxes too.
I guarantee somewhere in there were frog carcasses like strewn about. Like,
Well, and the fireworks debris is always directly in front of where the garage opens up, and if everyone drives in, where it's not going to be an issue for anybody.
right.
It's always right there.
God damn it.
And so, remarkably, the fireworks are just one front in an escalating feud. Halstead and his husband, Andrew, form one faction. Christian and Christine, the less popular duo, form the other. Around the beginning of September, Antonelli and Licata installed an extravagant Halloween display, which some of the neighborhood interpreted as a creative way to irritate their neighbors. It featured bright lights, animatronics, and an air pump that, quote, sounds like a jet engine, residents say.
This is, oh, shit.
I love this.
Setauket is turning into ice slip. Anybody who's from Long Island gets that joke, and I don't think it's a joke.
Quote, then there's a big witch, adds another person who lives
Well, that's
nearby.
scary. That's fucking scary.
That's actually...
He says, I can hear the witch when I go in my garage and my garage door is closed. She's like, ah!
Again, very scary.
Another claims that one of the installations, quote, had a bright light, but when it burned out, they replaced it with a strobe light, which is even more annoying.
That would drive me. I wouldn't be able to be that petty. I couldn't have that going on.
Well, you have epilepsy. You have a right to kill them if they do that. Yeah.
I mean, this is just standard white trash neighbor fight.
But on Long Island, and like you said, Long Island is white trash New York, right?
Long Island is pretty standard white trash. Like, it's nothing special. The only thing that's really different is the accent is a little different.
Yeah.
But like and it used to be there was more mob people there.
Right.
So this used to be more dangerous.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, like just, your average blue collar guy in Long Island is like your average blue collar guy anyplace else, just with an Italian accent.
That summer, Halstead, 54 years old, took a video allegedly showing Licata trying to flood his lawn with her hose. So there's just a video of she just left it there next to their fence, and all of his mulch and all of his gardening is just washing into his fucking yard.
That person's doing a bad thing.
There's more. A person in the area alleges Antonelli and Licata, 43 and 35 respectively, quote, blast house music the entire day, and it gets worse and louder over the weekends. In September, Antonelli was charged with exceeding sound level limits. He pled not guilty. And later that month, Licata was arrested for criminal tampering after Halstead found dead rats in his yard. His security camera appeared to show her leaning over the fence in the middle of the night. She also pled not guilty.
The only thing that's surprising to me about this is that the people of Setauket put up with this for this long.
Yeah.
That the neighbors didn't go ape shit.
Right.
Because, like, this is pretty, like... upper middle class like world.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
I think that's why calling the cops works.
Yeah.
If you were in another white trash part of the country, the cops might not even show up for a dead rat. They'd be like, yeah, rats die all the fucking time, man. What are you fucking talking about?
I just think it's funny that she had to touch a dead rat to do this. You're like, you're gross now.
Yeah.
He can just pick it up with a shovel and fling it to the fucking road or whatever. Yeah, you're the one who had to touch it to throw it.
I wish I could say that this is like more or less Long Island. If you had added like bagels and a rosary, that would have made it more Long Island. But other than that, that's just kind of gross people going at each other.
Well, maybe what about DoorDash? On October 17th, Halstead said he received an unsolicited package that included a, quote, buzzy butt, vibrating sex toy, ultra-strength gas relief, and Vagisil. And he says that he called DoorDash and was told the sender's name was Christine. So she didn't even try to like disguise this at all.
Here's a butt for you to fuck, you old farty, pussy-infested, nasty motherfucker.
I attribute the cleverness of that prank to the proximity to Stony Brook University.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That, like, there's a higher level of analysis going into
I don't think those sex toys are cheap either.
A buzzy butt?
No, there's money going on here. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you cannot live in this part of Long Island for cheap. You cannot do it's so expensive now. Like it's mind-blowingly expensive. So these people have some money. There's some money being played around with here.
So since July, police have responded.
Oh, wait, it's a butt plug.
Oh, it's a butt plug. Okay. Oh, it's a vibrator. I thought it was like an actual, like a vibrating butt. But
Me too.
That makes more sense.
Wrong end of the formula, my friend.
Yeah.
CVS sells them for $36.49.
Oh, hey now.
Fun fact, by the way.
You can get it cheaper used on eBay, though.
Used? No.
One of our most famous, I actually found this out getting ready for this podcast. One of our most famous Long Islanders, a guy named Ward Melville, for whom my high school is named. And his company eventually is like merged into and became CVS. So we are heirs to that fortune in some way.
Wow. So yeah, they've responded to at least 27 calls involving one of the two homes, according to public records. He and his husband are now suing Antonelli and Licata for trespassing and causing a nuisance, among other alleged violations, including flooding the yard, blasting the music, threatening their lives, and detonating fireworks at random hours of the day and night. The lawsuit notes that a Suffolk County judge imposed an order of protection against Licata on October 11th. The Daily Beast saw a copy of the order, although Licata says it doesn't exist. So I love
he's
that.
claiming that there's no restraining order.
Restraining order. She's like, you don't got no restraining order against me. And the Daily Beast is like, here's a copy of it. Like, no.
They did plead not guilty, so maybe she legally has to say that.
So Christian Antonelli, meanwhile, considers himself the victim. And this is his quote. People in the area have been taunting my family since 2020, he wrote in a text to the Daily Beast. I'm a husband, a father of 3. I was raised in a Christian household, and my family likes to work hard and enjoy life. Most of the accusations about his conduct, he added, have been, quote, been a guilty till proven innocent routine. They're persecuting me. Christine concurred in a separate text message in which she denounced Halstead as a lunatic that harasses the police, which in turn makes them harass us, she said. She denied
The police are hassling our illegal behavior.
Yeah.
I've never wanted the mob to return to Long Island
know,
more
right?
than I do right now.
That
These
crazy
people would be taken care of very quickly.
This would have been solved quick.
Yeah.
Oh, no question.
that crazy QAnon guy shot the last mob boss on Long Island, I think.
Damn it.
Or was that New Jersey? I forgot. But she says, we're all afraid. And she denied virtually all of her neighbors' claims, saying that she and her family have only occasionally set off fireworks and haven't done any this month. And that the Halloween decorations are reasonable and that they don't play loud music. And she knows nothing about the buzzy butt or the Vagisil and the care package. I'm just like someone having to verbally deny. I don't know nothing about the... listen.
Butt plug? Never heard of it.
Never heard of a buzzy butt. The community clearly seems to be in Halstead's corner, but as much as people are exasperated by the Antonellis, they appear to be equally confounded. The couple arrived 3 years ago and obviously had money to blow, and parked in front of their homes are 2 new Teslas, one of which bears the license plate "Get Some" with 2 M's.
Sure.
But where did they come from? And how did they seemingly get rich? In March, a federal lawsuit was filed in the Eastern District of New York that claimed to hold some answers. Beverly Van Gundy is an 81-year-old widow that lives in San Leandro, California. And 6 years ago, an ad on the back of a magazine captured her attention. A company called Atlas Collectibles said it was offering gold bullion at rock-bottom prices. So Van Gundy had recently come into some cash. When she was 27, she bought a home in San Leandro, but by the time she sold it, it was worth more than $800,000.
Okay.
And again, she's old, so that's a big...
So she's got some disposable income for the first time of her life. Okay.
Yeah. And when she called Atlas to inquire about the gold, a man from the company told her to hold off. And she said that this guy said, "Give me a few days and let me find something better." His name, she said, was Christian Antonelli. Antonelli and his associate Jason Sullivan advised Van Gundy to buy collectible coins, arguing that they would appreciate faster than bullion. And according to a lawsuit she filed in the spring, she says, "I bought in. Big mistake," she now says. Antonelli in particular wooed her with what felt like kindness. He's very smooth talking. He never gets upset. He talked to me for hours about his family, and I talked to him about my family, and we got to be more like friends. And so that's, again, he's ripping off a woman in her 80s in California.
Great.
And by the time the pandemic hit in 2020, Antonelli and Sullivan commenced phase 2 of their fraud, the lawsuit claims. The pandemic, they allegedly told her, provided an unparalleled opportunity to cash in on her holdings. All she had to do was ship her coin collection, including hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of coins, to Antonelli's house in Setauket, and he would, quote, sell them on consignment. And yeah, so if you're wondering what that guy does for a living, that's what he does.
If it's not this case, there's a similar. There's a bunch of coin scammers around the tri-state area, and I think that there might be an American greed about this.
It's like a ring, basically.
No, because it's already scumbaggery.
Oh yeah, of course,
to start with, and then like I think a few people have been like taking it to new heights. Of scamming in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So yeah, Van Gundy doesn't expect to get all of her money back. Whatever she does to recoup will need to last the rest of her life, she says. Not that it'll be that much longer anyway, but that's beside the point.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So she's trying to get back just a little bit because she sent them thousands of coins, and then it was like, oh yeah, they're worth whatever, $800,000.
If I'm that age, someone rips me off, it just becomes a revenge.
Yeah, it's suicide
plot.
Vest.
Because I'm like, look, I don't need the money.
Yeah.
I just want revenge.
I just want to kill you.
I just want, and also now I got nothing to lose. It's not like I'm gonna have kids at this point.
Yeah.
It's not like it's all over.
Right.
So you just fucked with the wrong 80-year-old, my friend.
Antonelli declined to comment of the litigation, but Licata, his wife, defended him at length. She blasted the lawsuit for portraying Van Gundy as a feeble elderly lady, arguing that she is thriving and a senior Olympic athlete and thus was less likely to get ripped off for some reason. And last year, she says, Van Gundy competed in a softball tournament where they came in first place, by the way. And
well, she's got it all. Why would she even want any of this money back?
Well, Van Gundy confirms that she won the tournament in her age group of 80 and up, but due to her health, someone else had to run the bases for her.
Oh, okay.
So, like...
Yeah, like she got a fucking hit at all.
she got... No.
They won! Somebody got a hit.
It's a team
Cut
sport.
to this Antonelli guy, like, dead with a softball bat by his head.
Yeah. Yeah, and they believe that he moved to Setauket around the time this scam was going on. And Halstead claimed to the Daily Beast in a text message he tried to recruit him in a campaign against a neighbor's noisy dog, but it sounded like he had, quote, been smoking Marlboros for 50 years, Antonelli says, and told his new neighbor to buzz off. You're barking up the wrong tree, he recalls of their interaction, adding ruefully, I didn't say that last line, but it would have been perfect.
That sounds like a cool thing to say.
Man,
too bad I never said it.
Added ruefully.
That would have rocked, dude.
My one regret, not saying
not saying this stupid line. A few months later, around Christmas 2020, Antonelli had family in town. He says that he had found 2 mortar fireworks in a toolbox and decided to set them off. By his recollection, the neighbors loved it. One supposedly charged into his yard cheering, "Do more! Do more!" And the next house, he said in a text message, yelled, "Yeah, we love it!"
No.
While another explained, "Finally, awesome people move into the neighborhood. We love you guys.
Finally.
Welcome."
That did not happen.
Somebody had to write this in a fucking court case. And then the plaintiff got a text message that said, "Yay, we love it." So Halstead and Antonelli said did not join in the cheering, and he in fact chastised a couple people for shattering the peace, allegedly adding, "You're not in center reach anymore. This is Setauket."
Center reach sucks.
Yeah, what is center reach? I was
Center reach sucks.
Oh, okay, right on. Halstead admits to participating in verbal altercations. Quote, "I said to him, listen, you're a criminal and you steal money from little old ladies. I don't like people like that." I called them white trash in the heat of the moment. Licata shared videos with the Daily Beast that says that prove Halstead has been the source of the neighborhood problems. The most compelling video from this summer shows Halstead demanding that Antonelli, quote, "Be a man, come out here and talk to your neighbors." And after a pause, he grumbles, "Fucking pussies."
Jesus God, come on.
And that's one version of the feud's origin. Halstead offers another. He says that he entered the war over a different dispute. Antonelli and Licata piled dirt against their fence to make their yard level, which we were completely unaware of until the fence fell down. So they're just stacking, just putting tons of dirt, and then the guy's fence falls down. It's like, hey, can you pay for that? And
so is self-awareness just not a thing anymore?
Oh, yeah, no.
Well, I mean, when you're a scam artist asshole, I
Yeah.
don't think there is any
and
line.
It sounds like he met the perfect neighbor for him.
Oh, yeah. Antonelli insists that he's just defending himself from a hostile neighbor. Quote, "He's obsessive. He's constantly harassing me and my family. He's a loose cannon. My family has suffered greatly, and it's a long way from over with this guy." Halstead, for his part, says he hoped to avoid going to court. Late last month, as he was threatening legal action, the discord seemed to mellow. For a brief stretch, the Long Island air was once again calm, and then in early October, fireworks went off again. So it's and I couldn't find a follow up to this. Like I was looking. I found
When did this happen?
This happened in October of 2023, and I found Antonelli's Instagram, but it was private. But his avatar was just some transphobic text. So yeah, fuck
Oh,
that guy.
good.
Yeah.
Was Antonelli ever indicted for?
I think they settled. They must have settled out of court because they had this dispute was listed, but there was no action. So they
No, I
probably
meant for his coin scams.
over the coin scams. Couldn't find anything.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing I want to see is him suffer
Yeah.
for that.
I'm sure it got settled out of court, probably. Yeah, because I found it on like legal filings, but again, there was no resolution on any of it. So
I'm disappointed that my hometown had such just like a normal, common, like just like white trash neighbors fucking with
Feuding.
each other. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
so. I mean, yeah, it's center reach. It's not something you're supposed to be hearing about in East talking.
well, what? Let's get into these questions. Robert Yasumura, Setauket, New York.
Sure.
Number one, what was the incident?
There wasn't per se one incident, and that has to do with. So Setauket is part of 3 towns called the 3 Villages.
Uh-huh.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Like, so my high school was 2,500 kids over 3 grades.
Yeah, I heard you say that. That's
It's
wild.
huge. And so it doesn't have that small town, like, there's one incident you can point to that everybody remembers.
Sure.
Didn't want one like that.
Except
Like,
for the fireworks explosion.
but those, like, roll into each other. So, like, there would be, like, so, like, when I was in high school, like, 3 kids died over the course of me being in high school just by the laws of large numbers.
Right.
Like, and so we're in a smaller town, like, a kid dying would be huge.
Right, sure.
In my town, it was like, it was a big deal, but it was also like, we have so many goddamn people here. It's just going to happen.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
there were some fires. There was like, the one that I remember being very peculiar was a friend of mine worked at the sort of the local pharmacy, and he went to work one day, and his bosses were being let out in handcuffs
Oh, shit.
because they had been getting like illegal drugs and selling them essentially.
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
it was a complicated like insurance scheme that they were running.
Yeah.
and he was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm not doing this today." Like, so it was just it just wasn't it was too big a town for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I played my last year playing baseball. It was for a local car repair shop called K&K Auto.
Sure.
And the coach was, of course, the owner of the store. And one day we came in and he was gone, and our pitcher, his son, was also gone, and it's because they, I think, fled the country with a bunch of money they that they stole. So we just had to figure it out for the rest of the season.
It was the shitty like again. There were like people mobbed up in my town, and like they were fine. It was like if you were an amateur.
Yeah.
That's when you.
Yeah,
fail.
you don't bring your dirty. You don't shit where you eat. we do our mob shit on the other side of the fucking river.
I don't know if this is true or not, but like our local pharmacy chain was Genovese.
Oh no shit!
It was called Genovese, and I was like, is it named after the crime family, or did the crime family ruin the brand?
Right. Yeah, we're not associated with that side of the family. Oh man. Question 2: local legend.
Again, this is a weird thing because, as you were pointing out, we had the spy ring.
Yeah.
And the reason why we had that is because part of the town dates from like the 1600s. No shit. Like it is one of the oldest, some of the oldest buildings in America exist in that part of Long Island.
Whoa.
And the weird thing is that when I was living there, everybody had moved, had basically repopulated the area since about the 50s.
Uh-huh.
And so no lore had built up yet.
Is there no famous people from there?
No, there's a lot of
That's
Kevin
the-
James. Kevin James from
Then
went
that's
to
the
my high
local
school.
legend. So who's the local legend?
But nobody was the one local. There was one guy who I went to high school with who got into the New York Ballet when he was still in high school. He was that good.
Damn.
He was kind of a local legend. I don't even remember his name anymore. I know I resented him because all the girls kind of like dug him because like he was like a heterosexual who did ballet.
Oh sure,
And was really good at
and
it.
was really fucking good at it.
Wow. And Kevin James is from there too?
Kevin James, a couple years ahead of me.
Fuck yeah.
in high
He does
school.
MMA in movies.
Here comes the boom.
Yeah, he's like once I found out he was from my hometown, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He's appropriate to that that circumstance.
Yeah.
But we probably like it was such a huge high school, and we fed into so many Ivy Leagues that I guarantee they're like major people like in government and statesmanship. I just don't know them.
Oh, okay. Well,
But, like-
Kevin James is huge, man. That's
Kevin
That's
James,
the local legend. That's gotta be.
Blue Oyster Cult.
What?
Whoa.
Blue Oyster Cult came out of
BOC
Stony Brook.
Oh no shit! That was our fucking jam of the week a couple weeks ago. Hell yeah!
Blue Oyster Cult was founded at Stony Brook University.
No shit! I did not know that. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about BOC. I like them, but I just kind of assumed they were like British.
when you're from Long Island, that's one of the few things you know.
Yeah,
like
BOC, Ram Jam,
Foghat.
Foghat. Yep.
And there's like there might be a couple of
Billy
small-
Joel.
And then Billy Joel is like the biggest deal because he not only is from there, but he's a Long Islander. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you listen to his shit and you're like, yeah, I know where you like. I think he grew up in Nassau. He grew up right on the border of Nassau and Suffolk.
Yeah.
And like when you hear that and you're from there, you're like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, we all drive into people's homes from time to time.
Yeah.
It's just the thing we do.
Oh no, becoming a weird drunk on Long Island, that's a given. Like,
Question 3: worst bar.
all of them.
All of them.
I will name two. Also remember, again, I left as soon as I fucking could.
Yeah.
And most people in sort of my peer group were like, we were told from childhood, like, you're gonna leave. There's no reason to be here.
Yeah. This is a cocoon. You have to break out of it.
You're getting a good education.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to college and get the fuck out of here. Like it was just a given. But the most Long Island white trash bar when I was growing up was called Twoies.
Like how do you spell it?
Like TWOEYS or something like that.
Twoies. Wow.
During there's a bar that they go to in The Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah.
It's that.
It's that bar?
It's basically
Oh
that
no
bar.
shit. Okay, yeah.
And it was one of many, but
Wow.
like it was of a type.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, this is before like TGIFs really started. There was like a proto version of that, like near the train station, and it was like you go in there and everything's like beechwood and brass.
Oh, yeah.
and meant to be like very white bread, like friendly.
Right.
That place where I was like, this place, I couldn't imagine drinking in here. I couldn't imagine having an emotion. Like,
Other than hungry.
yeah,
That's the only emotion you feel here.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
only for like rice. Like, not
With
for,
butter.
like- yeah.
Rice and butter. That's all we eat.
I would like some rice, butter, and some water.
Yeah.
Not too cold. though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was that kind of place. And it was called the Park Bench.
Yeah. Fill it up with ice, but then run hot water over the ice,
Right.
and then we'll be exactly where we need to be with the temperature.
Yeah. And there was a bar near Sweezy's, which hasn't existed in 30 years. And that they might have been called 2E's as well.
Oh, not 3 E's?
Yeah. And I just seem to remember they just permanently had like posters for 38 Special.
Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Like-
man, I gotta go live in this town if this is the music selection, man.
Yeah.
38 Special, BOC, Ram Jam, Foghat, fucking A.
Billy Joel.
Billy
Yeah.
Joel. Hey.
For when you need to relax.
Yeah. You know.
When you're done rocking for the day.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, sleeping with the television on, that's a rocker.
I have a roommate who's from Rhode Island, and he swears that Billy Joel is one of the biggest generational artists because he didn't leave the East
Yeah.
Coast soon enough.
Yeah.
He thinks everyone in the entire country loves Billy Joel still to this day.
Billy Joel's coming back around though.
No, he
Yeah.
never stopped.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
like I'm telling you, thank God he did. Like, fucking thank God he did. But like people are finally revisiting and going like, oh, he's probably one of the most prolific and good songwriters of that generation. Like people
Yeah.
are coming back to it and looking at it. I can't stand it. And it's
Pretty bad.
and even like I respect like I'm
Yeah.
like I think I might like this music if I didn't grow up around people who liked this music.
Yeah. So that's like if my dad's from Staten Island, so he grew up with Billy Joel, but then I grew up in Alabama, and so I didn't listen to Billy Joel till I was in college. So I had no context for it, and it didn't pre-exist in my brain to annoy me.
Right.
So I'm a fucking huge fan.
Yeah,
but it's because it's from a world I'm bereft of that context. I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah, sleeping with the television on, man.
The
Fucking-
lamest people in Long Island loved Billy Joel.
Right.
And you were like, I can't.
Just like they call it Strong Island.
Yeah.
The lamest people.
The people who called it Strong Island loved Billy Joel.
Question 4: best local food.
Bagels, basically.
Oh, okay.
I mean, anything like all the shit that New Yorkers go like, I miss this.
Some pizza, some bagels.
Pizza, bagels, deli.
Yeah, deli. Hell
It's
yeah.
like it's as good in Long Island as it is in New York City.
Okay.
And by the way, it's not good deli. There's a type of shitty deli that is I miss.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like the Kaiser roll was really good.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
made it. So
Okay.
it's all that shit.
Nice. Question 5, and you might have answered this one during the local legends thing. Question 5: local ghosts or monsters. You said there was like kind of no.
I will tell you, I was thinking about this. It's the weirdest thing because if you walk around my town, there are a lot of 300-year-old houses.
Uh-huh,
Like,
yeah.
200-year-old houses, and then a few 300-year-old houses.
Yeah.
And so, like, the weird thing is that I think in my town, for a house to be thought of as haunted, it would have to really fucking be haunted. Like, it would have to have, like, a vampire living in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because, like, I remember going to a community center where there was a preschool. And I was young, but I realized, like, this is an old building. Like, the floors creak and da-da-da. And you could tell, like, if the lights weren't on, if there wasn't noise going on, this place would freak your shit out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of buildings like that in Long
hell yeah.
Island. And a lot of them are just used like normal buildings. And that's true about New England in general. There's like a surprising number of very old buildings. But I thought about it for a second. I was like, holy shit, like for something to be haunted, it would have to full on be haunted. Because like you walk past, no shit, you walk past graves from the 1700s all the time in Long Island.
Yeah. We got the Amityville horror that's on Long Island going on, and you got
But that's the most Long Island haunting you could possibly imagine
Yeah.
because some shit kicker whose parents were attached to the mob, he kills his family while he's coked out of his mind.
Yeah.
Or he's on, I think he was on acid or something.
yeah, I think that's right.
And when you hear him, you're like, yeah, that guy's from Long Island. He's such a piece of shit. That's the most Long Island haunting I can think of.
Right.
That's not even a haunting. That's just a multiple murder.
Yeah. Well, the haunting comes after the new people move into the house, or the guy did the killing, and then it's
According to the movie,
poltergeist stuff.
Well, the fact that haunting was almost certainly a scam.
Right. Yeah,
That's the most Long Island thing about it. It's not the.
Oh yeah. I should mention there's a lot of UFO stuff on Long Island. Typically, I don't know if
That doesn't
in
surprise me.
Setauket area, and then of course, Rex Uerman, the Gilgo Beach serial killer. So.
Yeah, we're really proud of that one. Although
Yeah.
I think that might be Nassau County. So
Yeah,
fuck those
it is.
guys.
Yeah. I did want to say shout out to Stephen Barcelo, who is a journalist from Long Island, who I was listening to the LISC Long Island Serial Killer podcast, and they kept cutting to Stephen Barcelo, who is a guy I met in North Carolina when I was traveling. What they didn't talk about is that now he lives in North Carolina and manages a Bigfoot museum. And they were just being like, journalist Stephen Barcelo, and he's like, yeah, the girls were found, in this position on this thing, and I was like, got to talk about Stephen's work with Bigfoot, man. That's his thing now.
Oh, so was he one of the fringe guys who had been following Lisk sort of through the whole thing?
And then he relocated to North Carolina and got into Bigfoot, and so now he's doing Bigfoot stuff, but he's still got. And within 5 seconds of meeting him, I was just like, "Oh yeah," introduce myself, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because the Bigfoot Museum's in the middle of nowhere, Littleton, North Carolina. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a comedian. I'm going driving to Richmond. I just wanted to.
I'm a comedian.
Wanted to see the museum."
First of all, before I say my name, I'm a comedian.
Yeah. Well, no, we'd already made.
It was like, I get that.
We'd already made our introduction at that point, but I was like, I'm on my way up to Richmond and just wanted to see the museum. And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm originally from Long Island. I do know Billy Joel." That was the third thing he told me after his name.
He comes up the moment Long Island comes up, Billy Joel comes up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking really?
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's our favorite son.
Shout out to Steven.
Let me just say, here's one of our other weird claims.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you go into a puzzle store, like puzzles or games and stuff, you will find a Long Island relic, which is their puzzles that like hand puzzles. They're handmade out of metal, and they're made at a forge literally down the street from where I grew up. And it's a place called Tucker Jones. And so they have, I don't know if you've ever had those puzzles where you have to figure out how to get the ring off.
Oh yeah. Oh god, those are fucking infuriating. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They make those, and you get them, and they're handmade, and they're usually in a little burlap bag, and you usually give them out as presents and stuff.
Oh,
they
cool.
are nationwide. They'll turn up and they're a very bespoke little thing, and they were made at this place called Tucker Jones.
Okay. Right
which
on.
is also like a 400-year-old building.
Wow. Shit.
You'd walk up there, you'd be like, and this was at the time when Little House on the Prairie actually was going on, and you'd be like, oh, this is actual Little House on the Prairie shit.
Yeah.
You'd go out there, and a guy would actually be working in a real bellows forge.
Whoa, with molten metal and actually making all the stuff. Jeez.
Yeah.
Last one. Favorite thing that's not there anymore. Is it you, Robert?
Me, yeah. Me not being there is probably a pretty good fucking thing. Well, I'll tell you one thing that isn't there because it was such a clusterfuck. Stony Brook University they really wanted to turn it into the Berkeley of the East.
Sure.
It's a huge campus. It's like 25,000 students, something like that. And so they built, and they have a medical school there. And so they built the Health Science Center. It was meant to be like their medical research wing. And it was fucking hideous. It was one of the most hideous buildings you'll ever see. Brutalists would look at it and be like, "No, you failed."
Yeah.
And even even by the standards of that post-war concrete stuff, it was just hideous. Well, maybe 10, 15 years after they had finished it, all the concrete started falling off the facade.
Oh god.
Because they just didn't do it right, and so water got in there, froze, and pushed
it
off,
out.
and I mean, it's huge building. I mean, this is
they're gonna have to start over.
They had to take the whole thing down eventually. So I was pretty happy when I heard that.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
So I was disappointed because it was one of the Stony Brook was one of the places where COVID hit bad, hit bad, and so they went and did a lot of stuff at Stony Brook Hospital. They did a lot of remote stuff,
right?
And I was like, why isn't the Health Science Center in the background? And I finally looked it up, and they're like, oh, it hasn't been there in 20 years.
Yeah, they had to tear it down because they fucked up the concrete.
Yeah.
Damn. So. Well, that is a tour Robert Yasumura's Setauket, New York. Strong Island, baby.
Strong Island. Go to the park
Island.
bench. Have some rice.
And butter. And,
It's still there.
and
I don't think so.
give your
I
best
doubt it.
girl a handshake.
I will say the most generically that area thing was a place called the Three Village Inn. And it was, it was in one of the oldest buildings, but it was just like this generic fish restaurant, but like on like quaint colonial tablecloths and shit like that.
Yeah.
That is still there.
Oh, wow.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. It sounds like one of those like kitchen nightmares restaurants. You're like, why is this even fucking here? What money are you laundering?
Yeah, it feels, but the thing is, like, people still go there because almost like we're required.
Yeah.
That place was terrible.
I said, you fat motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. I start calling him all sorts of names. I said, you want to kill me? Kill me now, you fat bastard. He started to make a move to get out of that bed. Boy, I'm going to tell you now, I don't care. The fear of God came right into me, boy. I said, oh, I ain't letting him get his hands on this gun. I shot him in the back. I shot him one time. In the course of shooting him in the back, my sister yells, look out, she's got a gun. I shot him again. He was getting up trying to get me, and I hear boom. And I just fired a shot into him, but I hear boom.
Yo, we have time for just still one more segment, and of course, this is our jam of the week. Oh,
It sucks when a song is good.
Hell yeah.
It sucks so bad when a song is an anthem.
Yeah.
And this isn't like something I would put on ever in my home, but if this song was playing when I'm out, I'd start fucking rocking to it.
Oh yeah.
I still am an ardent AC/DC listener.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone for listening to
No.
AC/DC.
AC/DC kicks ass, and I can't believe we hadn't done this song. We did You Shit Me All Night Long with Kyle Clark about maybe
You shit
3
me?
years ago. Yeah, You Shit Me All Night Long about 3 years ago with Kyle Clark. But this is, of course, AC/DC with the title track off of their 1980 masterpiece, Back in Black. This song has 1.1 billion views and 150,353 comments.
Oh
and
my God.
yo, I read every goddamn last one of them.
Thank God. Thank God we finally get a billion view song that's a banger.
That's right.
You are
Usually-
killing yourself.
No,
with
you
this.
know.
You are killing yourself.
We know.
doing
Doing
We're
it
trying to
for
get
the-
him to go to the doctor.
doing
He
it for the
refuses.
people. I'm doing it for the people. They got to know that. Let's get down in these comments and talk about it. What are the people saying about Brian Johnson? Bon Scott's dead. Sorry. Brian Johnson and the boys with
This
AC/DC.
is the song about him being dead.
That's right. Yeah. So first up, and I love this. This is why I included it. Sonoma wine tour driver. So shout out to the tour drivers all over the world, and you in wine country and
Your
California.
job has become your identity.
Imagine your job, Rivers,
Yeah.
but they're all drunk Karens.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh.
And you get to
God.
drink also.
Yeah, well, this guy definitely does. Sonoma wine tour driver 6 years ago. I blasted this song in the middle of the night after drinking. Almost went to jail.
If
Because of
anybody
the-
has earned it, that guy's earned it.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was because of the song.
No. Along similar lines, E. Mary 6 years ago, my friends and cousin took this album away from me because when I get drunk and listen to it, this song makes me crazy and I break stuff around my house. And I should point out I breaks stuff with an S at the end, so that's fun.
Wow. I can't imagine being destructive to this song. It's kind of an upbeat song.
They're kind of a groovy band, you know.
Yeah.
It's like they do everything in a blues
Yeah.
key. They don't do anything in like minor keys.
No.
It's all like
It's fun, kind of like, yeah.
and nothing's like. I mean, this is about as violent as AC gets. It's
right.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. And it's all about fucking.
Yeah.
Like all the songs are about fucking.
Yeah.
Like how can you not like that?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a song where people listen to the riffs and to the chorus.
Yeah.
So they're like, this is when I show up dressed in all black to talk shit to my fucking ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Oh well, you've intuited the next one. Song Kook from 10 years ago. Once my divorce is over, I will sing this at my party the next day. Everyone is yelling this song. The neighbors are annoyed, and I will act happy. Yay! Class dismissed.
That's what it is. It's a song of angry celebration.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's not like a punk song where it's angry celebration.
Oh, yeah. It's also like a "You Doubted Me" song.
Right.
And I
there's
shall never be doubted again.
a weird, bitter triumph.
Oh, yeah. Stefan Frost, 13 years ago. Man, they just don't make them like this anymore. I'm freaking out at work while listening to this. AC/DC bitches, sit down. Do your spreadsheet, bitch. People are staring now.
Good. You're the fun guy in the office. Everyone
loves
everyone
Stefan.
loves you.
Stefan is everyone's favorite
Or you
guy.
said what everybody was thinking.
That's right. Yeah, everybody was thinking Stefan really is back in black, but no, you said it aloud. Tierra Fio from 12 years ago. Oh my fucking God. How I love rock and roll. I want to die with my head full of weed, drinking a lot, listening to a fucking awesome rock band like this, and having sex with a crazy slut. And I was like, you are 6 years old. Just to say.
You want to die in the middle of having sex. You're not thinking about your partner.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
gonna be having
That's
the
trauma.
worst time ever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like finding this guy and be like, we all want that.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to say it. It's implied just by living.
I want to go out alone and in a ton of pain.
Yeah.
Personally.
Scott Woodham, 5 months ago. I always drink vodka before I go to bed. And my wife knows I do. She knows I don't get violent. I just go to sleep, okay?
She knows. She knows.
I'm letting y'all know, okay? I can wake up the next morning, okay? And wife is happy when I wake up with my lovely wife. She has the best jewelry, and I will never divorce. And I'll never leave her. I love my wife so much. I will never leave her at all. Also, we each love each other till the day we die. She loves me because she dies. Okay, good night. I was like,
Vodka time.
that last part. What happened? What happened? She loves me because she dies.
That guy is working through something that is heading
get
to a meeting.
I get it, dude.
Thank God for vodka, because otherwise this guy would need to be put away.
I've been so drunk and stoned that the only thing I can think about is how drunk and stoned I am. So
This is a guy who clearly knows this is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like, clearly.
my wife knows.
Yeah.
Everyone
my wife
knows. I love her.
And he's rationalizing, like, I am not a violent drunk. That puts me up on other people. Dude, you are 4 years away from a meeting.
Yeah.
That is how this is going to go.
Drops of Jupiter. Hey, this started off as a train fan account, I guess. Drops of Jupiter 2 years ago. Bitch, I fucking love you. With my whole heart. And that's a lot. I'm just saying. As my mama, she don't even get that. She gives bad advice and she shits on anything good I do. Just found out that she's the real op. The devil's on the level. The pit boss. Ah, hell. Now it gets real. Really real.
A reference to train and then using the word op in the same
hilarious.
the same
Yeah.
person. So either they're very young or very with the current times, even though they're not.
I was thinking it's their parents' account. Drops of Jupiter is mom. She's a big train person because she's our age, and this guy is 12.
Okay.
Mom is an op.
See, I
It's like, my
thought,
mom is an op is fucking hilarious.
I thought this was like a normal adult middle-aged man talking about how much he hates his mother.
It could
Yeah.
be.
And
it
if it
definitely could be.
Could be.
If it had gone that direction, I was like, okay, that's something I haven't heard on this segment yet. Of like just being like, I finally realized my mom's a bitch.
Yeah, I think just the fact that they use the word op tells me this is a younger person,
Yeah.
but maybe not. Who knows?
Idiots will use young slang to try to seem cool.
That's
'Cause
true.
What was the other thing they said? Devil is the level.
Devil on the level.
Yeah,
Also, well-
that's something a young person would not say.
Yes,
I feel
but to be
like.
fair, a lot of people who have problems with their parents are very stunted.
Oh, true.
And have that weird. So
Yeah,
there's no.
Mom's an op is all we know.
Mom is an op.
I gotta say that should be on a shirt, man.
My mom is an op.
Is an op. It's catchy. It says a lot.
Grace 1008, 2 years ago. I love this song because I was targeted and brought into a few whorehouses. Although I didn't know this, I even conceived my son in one. Of course, his father abandoned both of us. And in my defense, I didn't know I was being targeted by the vile, icky people. Now I am divine. I have fulfilled the feminine mysteries to the fullest degree. Now I am a rose. But I go through periods of extreme dislike for weak and cowardly toxic men, especially in the fake-ass Christian church. Most of the men I have encountered are too pussy and cowardly to have ever been able to imagine my life. So yes, I especially hate the Christian church.
This is the first time on this segment I've ever been like, I need to know who this woman is.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. I think that just about every week.
Yeah.
I have one of these comments.
One of these days, YouTube will stop being cowards and add a direct message feature where you can be like, hey, what's your thing?
What is your? Let's go.
Come
Yeah,
on.
if-
What's your whole deal?
I'm gonna send you a couple bucks. Can you give me 600 words?
Yeah. Just your whole deal. Yeah.
Paid writing
Yeah,
job. Autobiography of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple more here. This is Little One Becky 3 years ago. I heard this song from a boombox in school. It showed me that my life was censored from the real world.
Hell yeah.
Then came MTV. Then I left that life far behind forever. I went to live with my dad, telling that bitch who's not my mom I never wanted to see her again. I fucking hate her.
This is a good song to hate your mom
Apparently.
to, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that being able to watch MTV was a life
Yeah,
that
yeah.
she left behind.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if that was the life she left behind or the pre-AC/DC era life.
Yeah.
Sometimes the comments are very, very difficult to tell what
Yeah.
they're talking about.
Sandra Underwood, 6 years ago. My sister claims to be Hell's Angels, but the bitch wants to help.
Go on.
But the bitch wants to help out a Mexican chick. But she keeps bowing down to her, and she can't see what she's doing. She's throwing a white person out on the streets, but she holds her white man. I know the way the life goes in the United States. You don't go against your own, but I'm still standing. They took my job for a Mexican chick when I was the best here in this town. But with a Mexican whore like Diana Marquez, a Mexican one, you're a good person. Why do you hold your head down? And I'm like, the sister got
Sandra, you need to give it up. Sandra.
Here's what happened. So the sister, this is what I think. I think the sister and the aforementioned Diana Marquez are living together with the person commenting. The sister gets a boyfriend, and it comes down to her sister and Diana. And her sister is fucking crazy, so she's like, you gotta go. Because there's only room. Because that's why she says, like, you put a white person out on the streets. And I'm like, I think your sister just was like, found you annoying. And
I
got a
think there was
boyfriend.
a lot more than found her annoying.
Oh,
there is a lot more going on. I mean, clearly she's extremely racist.
Yes, exactly.
Claims to be
yeah.
Hell's Angels and is mad they're not racist enough.
Right. Yeah. So, but
And some about a job, too. So she also got fired from her job.
right. Yeah.
I get the feeling this woman is a perfect storm of a lot of.
This is another one. We need your autobiography. Here's
Yeah.
$10.
Well, maybe
Give me what you can.
Actually, I don't think so. I think I could write this one. I think I could figure this one out.
maybe the job is being a Hell's Angel.
Maybe that is a full-time job.
Yeah, maybe it's a
some
full-time
members
job.
would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you could also tell this woman's like, I'm a mystery.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not. Becky, you're not. You're not. You're not a mystery. You don't contain multitudes.
Yeah.
You contain
Alcohol and drugs.
yeah, Southern Comfort and
peyote.
yeah.
Xanax. We got some fake Xanax comments.
And finally, and you know, we focus on some negative stuff here, but this is a pump you up speech from Stefan Frost. So another Stefan from 9 months ago. Good fucking morning, you fucking bastard! Rise and fucking shine! You won't just live this day like a fucking badass, but you'll make this day be your bitch.
Yeah.
So go out there, kick ass, be a fucking monster this whole fucking day.
I could not be mad at someone who used this as their morning pump-up song.
that's a great
This is
one.
a great one.
I think that guy might have been an actual honest-to-God Viking. His name was Stefan. He's like I imagine a guy typing this out is wearing the actual horned helmet. He goes, okay, and then he picks up the shield and walks out the door.
Wait, I just realized it is the same Stefan.
Oh, is
Whoa.
It's Stefan Frost. So it was the guy earlier who was like, hey, I'm telling people to quit being a bitch and do their spreadsheets. Oh, so this is like a morning motivation curse guy?
And then he goes it doesn't just stop in the morning. It's all afternoon,
this
too.
guy sucks to work with. I'm positive.
Does he have any videos uploaded we can comment on?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the only way to get in contact with these people
Poor
is if they have
Stefan.
videos uploaded and the comments on.
Yeah, well, typically they'll have like a lot of numbers afterwards, and those people usually don't. But at any rate, that is AC/DC's Back in Black, our jam of the week. Woo! Hell yeah. Robert Yasumura, where can people find you on the internet?
You cannot.
Ah, fuck
I'm
yeah.
happy to say I
I love that for you.
Hell yeah.
but I will be. This is if you are local. I'm doing a tiny little bar gig with Vance Sanders on the 14th at the Barclay in Palace.
Barclays.
Oh, love the Barclay.
And they get good
Love
guests,
Vance
y'all.
Sanders.
And by the way, I just want to say to people who don't know, those are the gigs to go to. Those are the gigs where you will see shit where you're like, I can't believe I just
You'll
saw
see
that.
a professional comedian who was on TV this week performing in front of 4 people.
Absolutely.
and just fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, you will see. I don't know if you'll see it here because I think the timing's bad, but like this is the kind of thing where Maria Bamford could just drop by and like work on material.
Yeah, she loves to do that. She loves Vance.
Yeah.
She the first time I ever got booked on that, he didn't show up, but Dana Gould was on the lineup, and it was just
damn.
like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Vance,
Yeah.
how do you know these people?
Vance knows all of them.
He knows everyone.
Yeah.
He's been on At Midnight twice.
Hell yeah. Well, Sam, where can people find you online?
A Slam Harder on Blue Sky. Sam Harder 666 on Instagram.
God bless you.
They can find me on motherfucking YouTube at the Goods from the Woods fully monetized channel.
That's right.
Suck that, haters.
Yeah.
Suck on that one.
That's right.
Thursdays. 5 p.m.
Central or Pacific time.
Don't confuse them. Don't confuse them.
Pacific Daylight Time.
Yeah.
PDT.
Is that this or what?
That's every Thursday.
What's your Thursday show?
It's the Goods from the Woods stream.
It's the stream. Oh,
It usually features me and oftentimes Rivers.
Yeah.
I walk around this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to Nazi Kanye West.
Casting
I
calls.
went to Kanye West casting for his new swastika choir and asked if I could dress up as Hitler.
Cool.
They didn't let me.
They didn't let him. Yeah, and he showed up. I told you he had that black Klan robe. He showed up and did an interview wearing it the whole time with DJ Academics. So
And,
we like MTV. You hear it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? What else? Last week I saw a homeless guy in a wheelchair getting pulled by a dog, like an Alaskan sled dog.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. The Iditarod happening right here.
Yeah,
in East
happened right on
Hollywood.
the sidewalk.
Well, yeah, you can find me on most forms of social media at Rivers Langley. And of course, you should join the damn Discord or linktree.com/thegoodspod. That's the best way to get in touch. It's also the best way to give me your address because I'll send you some stickers.
That sounds so creepy.
Give me your fucking
You know
address.
the best way to give me your address,
Yeah.
right?
Send me
it's-
some DNA.
Yeah. No,
23andMe shutting down. We're starting up our own version.
No, I bought stickers from Sticker Mule, which turned out to be not a great company. So I would like to buy some new stickers and get rid of the Sticker Mule ones I have. So, join the Discord and
Sticker Mule
DM
is just the name of a guy.
and they sent just the shittiest hot sauce with the stickers.
They do love that nasty hot sauce.
Yeah, so hey, if you want a free sticker from the Goods from the Woods, and I've got stickers laying around, just lots of them. I'm gonna send you some stuff. So join the Discord, linktree.com/thegoodspod. I am going to be doing some stand-up comedy starting in May up in the Pacific Northwest. May 10th, you can catch me in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada at the Underground Comedy Club. May 11th, catch me and my friend Andy Awancio, past guest of the show, friend of life. We're going to be doing a show at the Rendezvous in Seattle, Washington. May 12th, I'm at Eastburn Public House in Portland, Oregon. May 15th, Little Mountain Gallery going back to Vancouver. And May 16th, really hyped about this, the Shed Show in the Bellingham area. You can follow the band at Nobody's Peach Band for the secret location. Maybe if you're cool enough, you might get into that show. And then I'm heading back down south after that. May 23rd, very, very excited to be making my debut at Sports Drink Cafe and Comedy Club in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm going to be open up for Skylar Higley. 2 shows there, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. on May the 23rd. And then May 24th, I'm headlining the Dungeon Comedy Club at Covington Country Club in Covington, Louisiana. How many hard C sounds do we got for that one? But yeah, that's going to be May 24th with my friend Josh Watts. Going to be adding more dates down south soon, but at any rate, very excited to see everybody. So come on out. If you like our show, please follow us on all forms of social media at The Goods Pod. The best way to support our show, hey, if you're watching this, you're already doing it. It's patreon.com/TheGoodsPod. Second best way to support our show, head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave us a comment, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude. Because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, you're getting CERN bashed. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.